We'd had a little shiplap.
I would start by exposing the shiplap. So I wanted to add the shiplap here.
I love, love, love shiplap.
There's shiplap.
Yes.
White shiplap on the wall.
Look at the shiplap.
Then the shiplap was there. We incorporated the shiplap and did the shiplap.
I love this.
Make it feel a little.
The product I'm going to be using is Pine Nickel Gap Shiplap. It's pre-primed and ready to install. I'm going to be installing it above the mantel behind our wood stove, as you can see here. We have about 30-40 inches above there. The tools I'm going to be using are a level, stud finder, measuring tape, combination square, and a nail gun. Most of the work will be performed in my wood shop, where I'll be using my table saw and sliding compound miter. To begin, I'm going to transfer a measurement from one of the legs at the bottom of the fireplace to the top of the mantel, as you can see here. I've placed a mark above the mantel. Next, I'm going to begin by measuring from the top of the mantel to the bottom of the crown molding. And I'll do this on both sides. And then it's off to the workshop. So the first thing that I need to do is cut down my 1x4 stock that I have pre-primed. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to the rough dimensions. Now inside it was about 39.5. I'm going to go ahead and set these and cut them to about 41 inches. Now, with my 1x4s cut to a rough length, I need to rip them down to match the measurement above. I'm going to go ahead and set my rip fence to 2.5. I always like to double check it. I know I have it set pretty well, but I always like to double check it. Everything all set, I'll go ahead again, turn on the dust collection. Now with those measurements done, I need to refine my cuts to 39 3/8, and I'll take it in and double check it. Here I'm just checking for plumb, and I'm just going to lightly tack it with 1, maybe 2 nails. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm also going to check in between to make sure that I have the same measurement from top to bottom. I'm going to wait to nail the top of the right-hand side until all the shiplap boards are in place and I can make final adjustments. Now here I'm going to check for studs. I need to ensure I have a good solid backer for the shiplap to nail to. Once I locate the studs, I'll go ahead and take my level and make a mark so that I have a reference to nail my shiplap to. And then it was back out to the workshop to cut all the shiplap. Now I'm not going to bore you with cut after cut of shiplap, but once the pieces were done, I placed them on the bench behind me. Now with all my boards cut, what I want to do, and I've kind of laid them out, oriented them in a certain way, what I want to do is I have 39.5 total inches. I don't want a little skinny piece at the bottom, and I don't want a little skinny piece at the top or uneven. So what I want to try to do is take this, measure it out, find the center point between the top and the bottom, which will split it in half, and then from there measure out 39.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and do that. Got about 41.5, so I'm going to be taking about 2 inches off. So I could easily just go ahead and set this up and then measure it one more time, mark it evenly, and it should fit perfectly. Okay, so I had mentioned I need to take 2 inches off total. I'm going to take 1 inch off per board, 1 off the bottom, 1 off the top. So what I'm going to do is the boards are 5 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and set my rip fence to 4 1/4, and I'll go ahead and take 1 inch off of this board. Okay, with everything laid out again, I've taken the board that I've ripped off the bottom and I've kind of reoriented the boards again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure from the bottom now, and I'm going to measure up 39.5 inches, which is the total height that I need. And again, that's approximately 1 inch off the top. But this is really going to get me probably the best fit from top to bottom that I could actually achieve. So I'll go ahead and rip this. Okay, with that final piece cut, I'm going to lay this out one more time. It's kind of how it all goes together. I'll line the ends up. Good enough. I'll take a quick measurement on both sides. Perfect. 39.5. And on the other side, exactly the same. Ready to install. I wish it really went this fast. It did go along pretty smooth, but it seemed to take a little bit longer to set up the cameras and move things around than it did to actually do the job. The final step is to go back and nail each one of the boards. And unfortunately, this requires a face nail. The best way to do this is to take the level, draw a plumb line, and nail the bottom of each board. All it needs now is a little bit of caulk and paint. So this is what it looked like when it was all done. What are your thoughts? If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.